I am looking to build a cement clay bowl from scratch. I'm using this as a framework or as a base to build it in, and for that reason I would either line it with Glad wrap or a plastic, or you can do it with a newspaper. That just means that the clay won't stick to it, and when dry you can just remove it. I am mixing up a larger amount than usual cement clay, and that means the normal recipe is 1 cup of powder, 50 ml activator mixed up with a bit of water, and 50 ml glue, more or less. I am mixing up about 2 cups here, so it's double the amount, because I want to cover a larger area. Keep in mind not to use fast setting wood glue, as it sets too fast and you can't work with your clay. You need normal wood glue that you buy from your hardware, Ponal or the product that Galma sells. You mix up this and then you start to press it together. And if it's a little dry like this, you can just add some water, drop by drop, and knead it until it's a workable clay. It's just like bread dough. When it's too wet, add a bit of powder, and when it's too dry, add a bit of water. I'm working on cardboard. If you work on plastic or something else, just dust it with your powder, your cement powder. You can roll it out with a rolling pin, this piece of clay, and form it by hand, or you can just flatten it with your hand where you want to use it. I want to try and get this very fine pattern that is on the silicone onto my clay. And before I do that, I must just dust the silicone sheet, because the clay will stick to it and then you won't get that perfect pattern out of it. So I'm just dusting it to make sure that it's covered all over, and I shake off the powder, the axis that we have there. And now face down, I'm going to add this onto my clay and just roll it. Press quite firmly if you want a deep pattern. If you just want a light pattern, you can just press ever so light. And there you can see the detail on this beautiful piece of clay. Now I'm picking it up and I'm putting it in this bowl, but now I can maneuver it how I want it. Giving it some curves. If you got a curve like that, you can support it by putting in some newspaper or plastic or whatever, just to keep it up, if that is the way you want the bowl to dry. My bowl is dry, and you can see the perfect detail that came through from the silicone sheet pressed into the clay. And then I just maneuvered the edges, and it's dry now. I would say the thickness of about 4 to 5 millimeters. Don't make it thinner, because it's only cement clay, it will break. The first color I'm going to use is a dark blue, and I'm going to cover up the complete area of the bowl, and you can see how the pattern shows. My bowl is dry and I've painted the back as well. And now I want to use a color that is just off white. It's like a broken white, to dry brush. And that means I want to tap onto the pattern that is standing out, the second layer. The first layer is your dark blue. And I make sure that I don't have too much paint on my brush. And then I will just tap over it. And that will bring out the pattern. The lacy pattern on the cement shows up quite nice the moment that you highlight it. So you have dark with light on it, or you can turn it around and first paint a light base coat and then do the accents with a dark color. If you don't have silicone sheets to do this beautiful print, there's other ways that you can do it. Any crochet work that has a bit of a thickness can be either rolled into the clay or pressed into the clay to transfer the pattern. And placemat with a beautiful detail, as well as some lace. Pieces of lace works just as well. The next step, I'm going to seal off this bowl with hard as nails varnish, but you can also use Granny B's armor, or you can use concrete sealer or stone sealer. I want to use it for maybe sweets or nuts or fruit, and I want to be able to just wipe it off when there's maybe some dirt or stickiness left behind. But if it's only for display, you can leave it as it is. You don't even have to seal it. And see how beautiful the contrast is between the blue and the yellow of the lemons. I just love how it came out.